picture of a busy executive.
Finding ways to keep them working.
Hey, if your father was president of the Consolidated Telephone Company, you'd have plenty of fun, too.
Now listen, loafers. Having the entire supervision of the construction department makes me anything but a playboy. Now get that straight, will you?
Mr. Dale.
What is that, Alan?
Gas explosion at 6th and Market. Manhole caved in and one of the workmen trapped under a cable line.
The gas explosion at 6th and Market. Send an ambulance. Get my car ready. I'm leaving immediately.
I'll see you fellas later.
Come on, give these men a chance to work. Come on, get out.
Down there? Yes, he's caught under the main cable line. Can't you get him out? Oh, there isn't a chance. Unless we cut the cable, we'll cut it. But Mr. Dave, cut it. All right, Ed, send down the line. When I give you the signal, we'll haul him up. Now, don't lose any time, boys. Have the doctor keep you informed of his condition, will you? You all right, McDonald? Yes, sir, I'm all right. Oh, fine. Better take the rest of the day off. Thank you.
So you ordered the cable cut to save the workmen?
Dad, there wasn't anything else to do. That man's life meant something, didn't it?
The life of every employee of this company means something. But you shouldn't have cut that cable.
Are you trying to tell me that you would have stood by and willfully allowed that man to die?
Yes. When you stopped all communications for an hour by cutting that cable, you stopped sick people from sending for the doctors. You stopped hospitals from sending out ambulances. You left the city at the mercy of fire. Who knows how many lives were jeopardized?
Who knows? That's the point. Who knows? You're acting under a supposition. Now, before me, a man was dying, and I was acting on fact.
Son, this company operates because it serves all humanity, not a single individual. That service must not be stopped.
Service. That's all I hear is service. What about the service due that man under the cable?
He knew the chances he took when he went to work for us. He wouldn't have had you jeopardize the lives of thousands of others to save him.
No, it's a lot of ridiculous sentiment. Now, I saved one man's life.
Order directors is waiting, gentlemen.
All right. Well, now we'll see what they have to say.
What?
Sorry to keep you waiting, gentlemen. We'll get down to business at once.
The first thing that I wish to take up is a question of interrupted service this afternoon.
That's right, W.T. You know how many complaints we've had?
For the first time in the history of Consolidated Telephone, we failed to serve our subscribers.
Now, just a minute.
I ordered that cable cut, and I'll accept full responsibility for it.
One man and thousands were in danger.
I do it again to save a man's life.
Wait, just a question of that. My son and I have already discussed this matter fully.
Yes, we have. And I want to tell you gentlemen one thing. What is that?
It's regarding the workman who was injured in the manhole explosion, sir.
Well, how is he?
He's dead.
There you are. You've accomplished nothing. You violated every rule of this business.
If it weren't for your idiotic rules, the men would have cut that cable without waiting for me to get there.
They knew better.
They knew better. They were afraid. Afraid of what you do to them. And the delay cost a man's life.
We promise to keep this service going at all costs.
I've heard all that, and I'm sick of it. When the service of a company becomes more important than the lives of its employees, then I don't want any of it. You can have my resignation.
Tim. Oh, I'm through. Tim. Tim, you can't walk out on us this way.
Oh, can't I? I'm finished.
You just think you are, but you're not. You've got the same stuff in you that I had 40 years ago. It took me from lineman up to the president's office. Oh, come on, boy. Let's forget what happened today. Call it all a mistake.
Dad, I'm through, I tell you. I'm fed up with this whole business.
You can't get away from it, son.
Oh, can't I? Well, I'll show you. Oh, I'm sorry.
Maybe we should have been announced. Come here, Robinson. How's everything down at Riverton?
Not so good, I'm afraid. Have you met my daughter, Barbara?
Oh, how do you do?
How do you do?
Won't you both sit down? I won't be but a moment.
Thanks, we will.
Playing ball today. Come on, Tim. What a shot. Okay, kid? Are you hurt, Jim? No, I'm all right. What about the other fellow? He's back. How is he? It's pretty bad. You better call an ambulance. Don't take time for that now. I'll get my car and rush him to Riverton. Wait till Tim gets here with a car. Come on, Jack. Come on. Carefully back. All right, boy. That's it. All right, boy. Yeah. I think he's pretty badly hurt. Are you the doctor here?
No, I'm just the intern. Dr. Nelson's up at the Henderson farm, about 30 miles out the state road.
Well, have their phone?
Yes.
What's the number? I'll phone him.
Riverton 821.
Well, this phone's dead.
I wouldn't be surprised. The service here is terrible.
Where's your telephone office?
About 2 blocks down the street.
You do what you can for him. I'll get that doctor. I gotta get a call through right away.
I'm sorry, but the phones are temporarily disconnected.
I know that, but how long before we're going to get service?
Mr. Matthews is working on it.
Where is it?
Why, in the maintenance room. Wait a minute.
What's going on here?
wanted to use the telephone, and when I told him the lines were out of order, it seemed to upset him.
Are you Matthews?
Yes.
How soon can I get a connection?
Says to get this trouble fixed.
What is your trouble?
Well, the generators is off.
You checked your resistance lamp?
I'm not asking for any help.
There's your trouble, fellow. Somebody's been tampering with your resistance lamp.
What's the idea? Wait a minute. Who are you?
Hold on, Matthews. He seems to know what he's doing. It was disconnected, wasn't it?
Hello, Mabel. Is my dad in? He's in the maintenance room, Miss Robertson. I'll send word. Never mind.
I've got to put in a call. Oh, sorry.
Who is he?
I don't know. You got the system working in a few minutes after Matthews had been all day on the job.
Telephone man?
An engineer, unless I miss my guess.
His face looks familiar.
Guess to me, too. Well, darling, what'd you come down to see me for?
I suppose you people think I'm crazy.
On the contrary, very much indebted to you. My name is Robinson. I'm the head of this company.
How do you do?
This is my daughter.
How do you do? Father says you fix things up in quick order.
Oh, Matthews would have found the trouble in a little while. By the way, I noticed a lot of unsoldered connections that ought to be taken care of.
Yes, we've had considerable trouble of that nature, among other things.
Oh, really?
Yes, some of the boys seem to think the Consolidated Telephone Company is trying to run us out of the territory.
Oh, why should they do that?
I don't know that they are. I went up to see W.T. Dale last week. He denied it.
Well, you're losing any subscribers.
Yes, we are. But it doesn't.
I can't understand that Consolidated would countenance willful destruction.
Old Dale is a fighter.
Yes, but he's fair.
You know him?
Well, Well, you see, I used to work for him.
I was right. You are a telephone man.
Yes.
We could use a man like you in Riverton. If you care to be Matthew's assistant, why?
No, thanks just the same, Mr. Robinson, but I'm not looking for a job just at the moment.
Mr. Robinson, can I speak to you a minute?
What is it, Matthews?
Report from Tyler's Junction. The wires are down and they're destroying the poles.
Send along a trouble car.
I can't. The foreman's out on another job.
Oh, we've got to get those lines up. Get another phone.
I tried, but there's nobody available.
Get the trouble car ready. Send along a couple of linemen. I'll go myself.
Yes,
Please,
sir.
Dad. There'll be trouble.
I guess I haven't forgotten how to use my hands.
Mr. Robinson. Is this a private fight, or can anyone get in it?
It'd be a pleasure to have you join the party.
Okay, let's go.
Come on, boys. Swing those axes. We haven't got much time to waste around here. Let's get this next one. Come on, Jim, a little heavy there. What's the matter? All right, but hurry up. Cut those wires. Don't waste a lot of time around here. Goes. Here they come. I'll take care of this.
This time we caught you red-handed, Jackson, and you're going to jail.
For what?
For destruction of private property and interruption of a public utility service. waiting. Let's get out of here. Step on it.
We've got to get you into town right away, Mr. Robinson.
Nothing serious. Get those lines up. That's what we came here to do.
We'll get them up all right. Take it easy. Now, boys, get that equipment out and tie off to those trees. And we can get new poles sent out to town.
You ask me, you're crazy mixing up with fights at your age. I haven't had so much fun since I became president of the company.
After what happened this afternoon, we want to permit our boys to carry guns.
I refused that request before, Matthews. We don't want to fight.
I'm only trying to find a way to protect our property from Consolidated.
What makes you so sure Consolidated is behind all this trouble?
We're hanging a wire out there. The service has community spraying up around the dam. Consolidated's after business.
Well, I doubt that very much. They've got all the territory they can handle right in the city.
Nevertheless, it sounds plausible.
Well, I'm still not convinced.
Why?
Because Consolidated doesn't do business that way.
Well, Consolidated isn't back of this trouble. Who is?
Well, I'd give a lot to know that myself.
You behave yourself, Mr. Robinson. You'll be all right for a few days.
Thanks, Doc.
Goodbye, Mr. Robinson. I'll check with you in the morning.
Well, it was a great fight while it lasted.
Yes, wasn't it? By the way, you haven't told us your name yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. My name is Allen. Tim Allen.
Now, look here, Alan. Can't we induce you to change your mind and stick with us for a while?
Oh,
You might at least stay to dinner.
well, it's very kind of you, but I'm afraid I've got to be on my way. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Remember, the job's still open if you reconsider.
I'll let you know later.
Well, we'll be waiting to hear from you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
So you're all washed up for the telephone business, eh? Yeah, I thought you never wanted to see a cable again. Do they know your father is president of Consolidated?
No, I don't know who I am. Told them my name was Allen. Let's go with that.
Pete, how about going back to city?
I've had an offer to stay.
You what?
I can't get over the fact that his face looks so familiar.
You think you've seen him somewhere?
He called himself Tim Allen, didn't he?
Yes.
And he was wearing polo clothes?
Oh, yes.
There's some polo players out at the country club. I wonder... Riverton Country Club, please.
What are you up to, Bob?
I'm going to find out something about that young man.
But you can't.
Riverton Country Club? I'm trying to locate one of the visiting players there named Allen. Tim Allen.
Who? We have no Tim Allen.
Is there anyone whose first name is Tim?
There was a Tim Dale here among the visitors.
Tim Dale? Where could I locate him? Riverton Hotel? Thank you. I knew his face looked familiar. We saw him in Mr. Dale's office.
Then Tim Dale is...
It's his son.
But what's he doing here?
Don't you remember? He told us that he and his son had quarrels and Tim had left, swearing he never wanted to see a telephone again.
That's right, so he did.
That's why he doesn't want to stay. He's afraid his dad will find out and pull a fatherly "I told you so" on him.
Oh, we guarantee to keep his secret. We need a man that knows as much about the telephone business as he does.
Dad, do you really think he'll stay?
You seem to have an unusual interest in this young man.
Oh, it was just on behalf of the company.
Well, I never heard of a Dale that ran away from a fight or a woman.
But don't you fellas understand? Robertson's in trouble. He needs help.
Well, that isn't our funeral.
That's what you think, but you're wrong.
What do you mean?
I mean that we're going to help him.
We?
Yes. Now, neither one of you fellas ever did a day's work in your life.
Oh, cut it out, Tim, will you? We don't know anything about the telephone
You're not
business.
being hired for your brain. You're being hired for your muscle and the fact that I can depend on you. We can't leave Robertson and his daughter to face this thing alone, can we?
Oh, his daughter.
Yes.
Oh, so that's why we're going to
All of
work.
that girl hasn't anything to do with it. She's just a nice girl.
Oh, yeah, we get it.
Oh, now, all
we
kidding
get
aside,
it.
whether you like it or not, you're going to work.
I like that.
Hello. Get me Mr. Robinson of the Riverton Telephone Company, please. Yes.
There was a pause. 4 lamps lighted before the shrine of the... Hello.
Hello. Oh, hello. Yes, this is Tim Allen. Would you ask your father which office he wants me to use, please? Yes.
Well, just a minute. Dad, it's Tim. He wants to know which office he should use.
Tell him to use mine.
Yes? Oh, fine. And tell him not to worry. Goodbye.
We'll do the worrying.
Yeah. Because I can't help you fellows being saps. You were born that way. But get this straight. This is strictly business. And starting tomorrow morning, we go to work for the Riverton Telephone Company.
Why did you stop working the towers at Devil's Gorge? The survey shows that's the shortest route to the dam.
We would have had them up by now, but Mr. Matthews laid the crew off.
Why?
I thought it wise to wait till the new cable.
Well, it wasn't wise. It meant delay. That line's got to be up and operating by the time the dam is finished. Now, you get it up.
Yes, Mr. Allen.
Well, what are you doing here?
Hadn't you heard?
Heard what?
The girl that had this job went up to the city to visit her mother.
Oh, she did.
I thought it was nice of Dad to give her a month's vacation with pay.
I think that's very nice. What are you doing here?
Well, after all, you're doing us a great favor by staying, and Dad and I thought that one of us should be here with you. You're going to learn to like things around here.
I know I will.
Oh, pardon me.
Oh, sit down, Miss Robinson. This is my assistant, Mr. Hall.
How do you do, Mr. Hall?
Oh, I feel like I know you, Miss Robinson. Mr. Allen
Have you
here
seen
talk-
Jack this morning?
No, he probably isn't up yet, Tim. That detective work you gave him to do is sort of ruining his sleep.
Well, that's too bad. Tell him to stick on the job, because this fellow Matthews may meet us somewhere.
Matthews?
Our Mr. Allen doesn't entirely approve of your Mr. Matthews.
Every delay that we've encountered so far can be traced directly to Matthews. Read this.
State Commissioner's office, huh?
Exactly. Now they threaten to take our charter away from us if the service is impaired any further.
Tim, do you still feel sure that Consolidated isn't behind this?
I certainly do.
Who else could profit by it?
The charter to do business in this district could be valuable to anyone.
What do you mean?
I mean that if the Riverton Telephone Company ever lost its charter and were issued to anyone else, all they'd have to do is wait for the San Juan Dam to be completed, and then they could unload the Consolidated at a fancy price.
Don't you think we ought to talk to Dad about this first?
Not at the moment. Why bother him with it?
Well, in the meantime, Matthews...
Matthews is only doing as he's told. There's someone more important than he back of all this.
I thought I told you not to come here, Matthews.
I had to, Mr. Benton. It's very important.
Well, don't stand there. Shut the door. Oh, what is it?
Allen's worried at the fact somebody's trying to grab the Riverton charter.
When will that construction crew be back at Devil's Gorge?
Next week. Allen told... Shh.
Wait a minute.
And then I followed them to the office of a man named Benton. But they closed the transom over the door, and all I heard was the name Devil's Gorge.
Good work. I'm going to promote you. In fact, I'm going to promote both of you. We're going to Devil's Gorge. From now on, you two are going to be linemen.
Hey, that's great. At last you've hit on something that I can really do.
Something you can do.
Why, sure. I was one of the best men in the line when I went to Princeton. Say, if I wasn't so
This
modest...
is a telephone line, Sap.
No, I knew it was too good to be true.
Now, if Matthews and Benton are ever going to try to permanently cripple us, they're going to start there.
Well, Jack, my boy, looks like our boss is going to be busy. Let's go. Who's the dame? That's Miss Robinson, our real boss.
You mind if I invite myself up to your house tonight?
Why, of course not.
I want to talk to your dad about the work at Devil's Gorge.
Oh, I'm sure Dad will be very glad to see you.
Thanks. I really ought to go up and see your dad.
You've only been here a few minutes.
You know I've been here 2 hours.
Anyway, it seems a shame to disturb you now. Why don't you see him in the morning?
I'm leaving for the gorge in the morning.
But you'll be coming back to town weekends, won't you?
Not on this job.
Not even to see your friends?
I'm taking Bob and Jack with me.
You have other friends in town, haven't you?
Barbara, this job at the gorge is of vital importance. If they ever try to break us, they're going to start there.
And you'll be in the thick of it.
Well, naturally, that goes with the job.
You will be careful, won't you?
You seem to be quite concerned about my safety.
Oh, I was just thinking of Father. He'd be in an awful fix if anything happened to you.
You're a lovely little liar.
Am I?
I'm going to try to come back here every Sunday. Make a report to your dad.
Oh, maybe Jackson went out to the gorge to see you.
My young lady, you haven't any idea what kind of a country that is. That's the most desolate place in the world. Look. Here's the gorge. We're erecting towers on either side, like that. Across here, we're going to string a double cable. One of them is to carry the main power line to the city, and the other we'll use to carry the men across. Hey, Ben, how's that guy line over there?
Boy, I'll never be able to hold a golf club again.
Alan hires many more like you and never get this work finished. Something about that guy I don't like.
Telling me?
Now, let's get it.
Last year, you've been here 2 weeks, and that second cable isn't up yet.
Slow work, Alan. But I put some additional men on this morning.
Well, then.
Over the other side. You'll have to slack out that first cable ready to tie off today.
I'll go to the other side and take a look around. Oh, Jack, go down and take the legs off that second reel, will you?
Okay, Kim.
Bob, you better come with me. All right, Bob?
I don't know. Go ahead.
Well, how's Princeton's best lineman now? that cable clear. Bob!
Yeah.
Go down and check the oil on that winch.
Okay.
You okay up there?
Okay.
Okay, boys. Take it away.
Hello, Matthew.
Oh, I wasn't expecting you here today, Mr. Robinson.
Couldn't keep him in the house any longer.
Oh, I was in the house long enough, too long. By the way, how's this new man, Alan, doing?
Frankly, I'm disappointed in him. He's just an ordinary telephone line.
Where is Mr. Allen?
Over in tower number 2, they're pulling up the slack in a new cable.
Let's have a look.
Jackson, you released the brake on that winch.
No, I didn't. The worm gear
You
slipped.
finally made a move that's going to land you in jail for murder.
Oh, yes. Come on.
What's happening over there, Matthew?
Looks like Alan lost the cable. Spent 2 weeks getting up.
Oh, that went into the air. Hey. Go get him, Bill. Get him, Bill. Come on, get him. Come on, get him.
There's two men fighting on that skip.
Dad, it's Tim.
Come on, boys, give him a hand up there.
I'm sure this was an accident, Alan. These things happen.
They happen when they're carefully thought out in advance. I'm sorry I didn't listen to you when you warned me last night.
What are you trying to do? Make me take the rap for this? You're in it as deep as I am. Matthews planned this whole thing himself a week ago.
Fool, I didn't. Thanks, Jackson. I suspected for some time he was behind this trouble. Boys, take them both down and turn them over to the sheriff. Jack, you better go along with us.
With pleasure. Come on, you.
You step
Things are moving a little too fast for me. What does Matthews to do with all this?
I would have told you before, but I wasn't sure of the setup. Benton's trying to grab your charter, and they were working for him.
That's a serious charge, isn't it?
Yes, but with those two in jail, it won't be hard to prove.
If you hadn't allowed Alan to trick you, we'd have had that charter in our hands right now.
We did everything we could, Mr. Benton.
Do you realize if my men hadn't bumped into you in that telephone gang, you'd both be in jail charged with murder? Now listen, you chaps. I've got an idea, but we can't afford to miss.
helping her father.
Yeah.
Jim. Sheriff Wilson.
How do you do?
Hello, Mr. Allen. Good afternoon, Miss Barbara.
How do you
Any
do?
news, Sheriff?
We've combed the roads around here, and we've asked the cooperation of the police in the city. But it looks like Matthews and Jackson made a clean getaway.
What about Benton? He's behind all this trouble.
Benton's too clever for that. He's built his fences carefully.
I don't think we're needed here. Let's go out and talk about the weather.
That's the best suggestion you've made all afternoon.
Hey, we don't need you.
No, I'm going now. Excuse me.
It's a nice spot. Hello?
Thank you.
My dear young lady, we have decided that there are a couple of things you should know about this fellow who calls himself Tim Allen.
Really?
He isn't a telephone man, you know.
Oh, and just when I was getting interested in him, too.
We were afraid something like that might happen. Now, you take Jack or myself.
What do you boys do?
You see before you two of the most ambitious, painstaking, hard-working...
Polo players that ever held a mallet in their hand.
What did you say?
I wish you'd use your influence with Tim Dale.
What did you say, Dale?
Of course. You see, I hate to have you boys being misled. His name isn't Allen, you know.
Don't move, any of you. You, Miss Robinson, get up. Turn around and walk through his head.
Stay where you are, Robert.
We could just get a line on this fellow Benton. Must have been his men that rescued Matthews and Jackson.
It's pretty hard to do now that we've lost our prisoners.
They won't go far, that's certain. It sounded like a shot.
Here! Here! They're taking Barbara.
What's this?
Hello. Hello, Sheriff. All right. Do everything you can. Not a trace of them. I'll pay any ransom they demand.
Well, they're not after money.
Well, what are they to gain? If Benton engineered this deal, as you say.
I know he did.
How do you know?
Because there was a note thrown through my window this afternoon while I was out. I didn't give it to you before because, well, I hope the sheriff might have had some clue by this time.
We have Barbara where you can't find her. If you and Robinson expect to see her again, you will stop the service of the Riverton Telephone Company for one full day, as well as discontinue work on the new line to the San Juan Dam.
There's your ransom. Now, if you want me to, I can order the construction crew off that job in an hour.
If we stop service in Riverton for one day...
It'll place thousands of people in danger.
Yet it means Barbara's life.
How many lives will it mean if you stop service?
I don't know what to do. Tim, she's all I have. You love her, too. Then let's give them what they want.
The cost of how many lives?
You're acting on a supposition. This is a fact.
This company operates because it serves all humanity, not a single individual. And that service must not be stopped. Barbara wouldn't have it otherwise.
I guess you're right.
Hello. Get me W.T. Dale of the Consolidated Telephone Company right away. This is his son speaking. Might surprise you to know what my real name is.
Barbara found it out the first day you were here.
Hello. Hello, Dad. This is Tim. Yes, I'm in Riverton, working for the telephone company, but I need help. I want a construction crew, telephone poles, cables, and trucks. Can you help me out? Good. Can you get the men started right away? Thanks, Dad. Goodbye.
Do you mean Consolidated is going to help us?
With everything they have.
This begins to look like a real fight.
And we'll start that fight by putting armed guards around the telephone building to see that that main cable is not cut. Consolidated sent you men here because I asked for you. We've had to pull our own men off the job and put them as guards around this building. Now, we've already strung cable across Devil's Gorge. We've got 10 miles farther to go to San Juan Dam.
That ought to be easy.
Not going to be easy. You're going to have to fight every step of the way. I promised these people here that you fellas would finish the job. Now it's up to you to do it.
Well, Tim, some of us fellas straddle poles with your dad. I guess we got a few fights left in us for you.
Thanks, boys. I knew I could count on you. And I'll see you out on the job. Jack, load these fellas.
Yes, Tim. Come on, man. Got all your stuff?
Oh, Bob. Listen. Report to me every night. I'll be out Saturday.
Okay, Tim.
Hello, Tim.
Oh, good morning, boss.
Any news?
I sent 2 truckloads of men out to finish the last span at the dam.
I mean about Barbara.
No, I'm doing everything I can. If I could only locate Matthews and Jackson.
Stay away from that window. Keep an eye on her.
If I'd known the way this was going to turn out, never agreed to it.
Don't start crawling, Matthews. It's unhealthy. There's a murder charge lodged against you and Jackson. Forget it. When we get hold of that Riverton charter, we'll all have money enough to get out of here.
What about the girl?
I wouldn't worry about her. Robertson will be glad enough to forget all about it if he gets her back.
I hope you're right.
I know I am. Now, look. Where's the weakest point on that new telephone line to the dam?
Along the riverbank at Danford Crossing.
The river's rising in this rain, isn't it?
Yes?
And if it ran over its banks, it would knock down those new telephone poles, wouldn't it?
Yes?
And that'd cut from the main line in Riverton.
That's right.
And if we help the river to overflow by using a little dynamite...
You mean it?
Exactly. And this time, no mistakes. Jackson.
Yes?
You start for Danford Crossing at once.
Right.
Can you lay your hands on enough dynamite?
Leave it to me.
All right, get going. Here. Really plant that dynamite right in the...
Well, Tim, I was just up the dam. Everything is fine.
Oh, come on, snap out of it. At least you have the satisfaction of knowing that you kept your word. The job was all finished and the power goes on at midnight.
I know you're worried about Barbara. I wish there was something we could do besides just sitting here.
Well, there's nothing we can do. I don't even know what direction they took when they got away. No starting point.
Why don't you turn the whole thing over to the authorities?
Well, we can't do that. They started pressing them. There's no telling what might happen. This way, at least we know she's safe.
Come on, Joe.
Jackson! Where'd you find him?
Found him slipping around the riverbank down for close.
Where's Barbara?
I don't know.
She's with Benton. He's hiding out. Where?
I tell you, I don't know.
Now, we're giving you a chance. Talk and you may get a break.
You haven't got anything on me.
Nothing but murder.
We'll let a court decide that.
You may never see a court.
What do you mean?
These men here, they'll do anything I tell them. Am I right?
That's right, Tim.
Now, in order to keep a jury from being influenced by a clever lawyer, we may settle this thing ourselves.
Don't try to throw a scare into me. It won't work.
And almost anything could happen in a storm like this. I don't suppose they'd ever find a man if he accidentally fell in the river, would they?
You want us to work him over, Tim?
Well, it would have to appear as an accident. A bad accident.
We'll take care of that.
Well, Jackson, what about a parachute?
I tell you, I don't know.
All right, boys.
Come on. Come on, Joe.
Oh, wait. Wait, Alan. I'll talk, I'll tell you. Where's Father? Jackson's been gone 3 hours.
Think anything could happen to that fool?
Would be the first time I'll now smart him.
Oh, we're wasting time. Come on, Matthews. Come on, boys. We'll finish this thing ourselves. Anderson, you stay here and keep an eye on that girl. Yes, sir.
Sit down.
Who is it?
Tell him who it is.
Jackson!
Here!
Barbara, where's Benton?
He and Matthews just left to blow out the riverbank at Danford Crossing.
Are you sure of that location?
Yes, they said the river would break down the telephone line.
And it won't take much to do it either. Tim, that river's been rising a foot an hour.
Here, Jack, take this gun. You stay here. Left we have a minute to lose. Come on, put this
Come on,
on,
guys.
Barbara.
Let's get going. Jack, we'll be back for you later.
Take it easy, Mud. Come on, sit down. You got a long time ahead of you.
We haven't got time to bother with it. Come on, get that stuff planted. Let's talk about phones now. Go on, get to work, Matthews.
There's somebody coming. Let's get out of here. Barbara, you stay there. Where they go? Come on! Tim. Take him into town. The rest of you men go over and get to work on that riverbank. Give me that lantern. Bob, we've got to get a message through to town. If we don't stop that water, there'll be a flood in Riverton by morning. Come on. That's it. Here, take this lantern. Hook on here. Dead. Try the other. Over here, boys. Hello. Hello. Emergency. 643. Get me Mr. Robinson. I got him.
Hello. Robinson speaking. Who is this?
This is Tim. We've got Barbara. Yes, she's safe. Everybody out of town. The river's breaking through. Send us sandbags and equipment to Danforth Crossing right away.
Okay, Tim. Hello. Get me Davis. Davis, Robinson. The river is breaking through at Danforth Crossing. Send a special train with sandbags and equipment at once.
Tim, we can't hold out much longer. We've got to. Farther down the river. Tighten up that space, boys. Tighten it up. More sandbags in here. Right with you. All right. Give me a hand. Come on, man. Get to the break. Bring some more sandbags. Come in there. Down that train.
We'll merge at your price, John. There's one condition attached.
What's that, WP?
It's about my son, Tim. The condition's been removed, John. We'll close the deal tomorrow.